efficiency is so important, and it's such an elusive commodity for most realtors, most people. To me, the best way to be efficient is to what I call narrowing your battlefield. So many agents, most agents, are live from deal to deal rather than looking at the big picture. And the way to overcome that in my mind is to, and by focus, I mean focus on whether it's a certain demographic or a certain geographic. Many agents are selling homes, or listing homes, showing homes everywhere in the universe. And they try to be all things to all people, and they end up being no one to everyone. So for me, it's pick an area, pick a demographic, and own it. And you become just as productive, if not more, and in much more control of your time. How I was able to do that myself, it was really by happenstance. I was new, and I checked in with the office manager about different areas that I wanted to mail to, and for whatever reasons, no, so-and-so's mailing there, so-and-so's mailing. So the only area that was left really, was one of the areas in Fairfield, Connecticut that had the most expensive homes. So I thought, okay, well, I'll do that. So it was an area with 2,500 homes. Every 6 weeks, I was mailing to 2,400 and delivering the other 100 door to door. And I really got to know the area then, because it's a fairly sizable, spread out, 2 acre zoning, the whole bed. So I got to know the area, but I also got to know the people, and they got to know me. And so when I began, and I didn't live there or have any listings there, I still needed to put bread on the table. When I took listings outside of Greenfield Hill, I didn't put my name on the listing. I didn't have a sign writer there. I asked the office not to put my name in the newspaper, because in my mind, a confused prospect is a lost prospect. I don't want to say, gee, he's saying he's the expert in my neighborhood, and then he's, that house is across town. So it was narrow focus as far as what my specialty was going to be, and it began to kick in, and I ended up living there. So it all worked out well. Well, the way I look at open houses for realtors, they're giving up 3.5 hours, however many hours on a Sunday afternoon. So as long as you're going to commit that time, you may as well make it most productive. So it's not unusual to send out marketing pieces announcing the open house. I also like the agents to introduce themselves to the neighbors. For one thing, it's courtesy. Neighbors may be wondering why there are cars on the street or whatever. So I advise them to knock on 5 doors to the right of the open house, 5 doors to the left, and 10 across the street. So now they've hit 20 doors. And just introducing yourself. I'm Al Filippone. I'm having an open house tomorrow. Maybe you do that ahead of time. We're having an open house tomorrow, 1 to 4. Please, if you see cars, understand why they're there, and you're welcome to come yourself. And by the way, do you know anyone else who may be selling in the area? Just curiosity, or just to get a conversation going. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. The main thing is that you're introducing yourself, you're professional, and you're giving them the courtesy of knowing what's going on on their street. Well, patience is very difficult for all of us in real estate, because deals aren't happening every day for most realtors. And that's why such a high percentage of realtors drop out within the first few years, because they're not really able to maintain that resolve. They try a few things that they're advised to do. They don't work right away. They start looking at the shiny objects and get off course, lose their resolve, and then the business disappears. It's really all about, and sometimes it could be the boring stuff, but eventually it produces results, and then it's not boring anymore. Well, just to piggyback on that theme of the idea of the resolve and the focus and the determination, some of it is grunt work, but I don't know any business you could be successful at without working hard. There's an old saying that entrepreneurs, which is what we are as realtors, entrepreneurs work 80 hours a week so they don't have to work 40. I could remember being every Easter Sunday, we would be at my grandmother's, and she'd cook her all the Italian food, and it was fabulous. From just relaxing on the couch in mid-April. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is the first day I've had off this year. It was the first day I had off. But I loved what I was doing, and it was starting to kick in, so it wasn't work to me, but that's what it takes.